I need you to see our mental health specialist.
Yeah.
And then they will set up, regular sessions.
I feel
And
so
I'm like, we're
related
doing
to
this all
Mark.
backwards. Yeah, we're doing this all backwards. We are, we have to give clear direction to patients. Patients come to us for us to tell them what surgery is best for them, how they should have the surgery, and how they can reach the goals that they want to reach.
Right.
And we think we're doing patients a favor by giving them choices. And the reality of it is patients don't want choices, they want direction.
Yeah. I could not agree more.
Yeah. Guess what, guys?
We're not doctors.
No, we are not.
If you're going to be making any major medical decisions, please consult your doctor.
Yes, and that includes diets, exercise, medications, and surgery.
We love you guys.
And we want you to be in our OSLP family forever.
So be careful
and consult
your doctors. We love ProCare. You guys know this. And guess what? They have a brand new product out and it tastes like an orange Tic Tac.
That's right. I have got it in my hot little hands right now. It's their easy to swallow tablet in Citrus Grove. And both of us have fully switched over to it.
We had to because it's easy to swallow, doesn't stick, and it has 45 milligrams of iron. And we both need that.
Yes, we do. So go to procarenow.com to take care of all your bariatric body needs. And our code is the only one that gets you a full 15% off. So use code OSLP at checkout.
Are you located in the Florida area?
Well, we have the perfect office for you. Dr. Fridley and his wife, Macy, have created the perfect, welcoming, and safe place for your bariatric journey.
That's right. So click on the link below to start your weight loss journey now. And don't forget to tell them that the OSLP's girls sent you.
Welcome back, OSLP family! Welcome back, OSLP family!
Welcome.
You are listening to our Sleep Life podcast, and this is Kelly.
This is Mel.
And we want to let you guys know that we are going to this really cool event.
Yes.
In May. It's May 16th through the 19th, and it is Pop Recovery Beautiful Minds Retreat.
I know. Again, I just love that name.
I do too.
I know. It just feels good.
And that link is in our bio. So if you are in the area or if you want to fly out, because
we're flying
out and we would love to see you there. There is a whole schedule of things. My favorite thing, though, is the prom.
I know.
Because I already have my dress picked out.
I do not. I have to look for one.
Yeah, you need to get on that. Or do I need to find you one and then send it to you?
I mean, you love doing that.
I do. I really do. I like finding you clothes.
For Disney. My Disney bounding buddy, she finds me clothes to wear.
I do. Because I do really enjoy finding all the little things that go along with it. So back to the Pop Recovery Retreat and it's in Orlando. I don't know if I said that.
You did not.
Okay, it's in Orlando, Florida, which of course is like my favorite city, state ever.
Because
Disney World, hello.
Yeah,
so yeah, and it's right around my birthday, which means I get to not only hang out with all of these really cool people before my birthday, but I get to go to Disney World on my actual birthday.
And we get to have breakfast in the castle.
We do. I'm really excited about it.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I may have gone a little nutso when I got the alert because I couldn't even talk,
and then you were
I was
walking away from us, and
because I had to put in all my credit card information. I didn't want to say anything until it was like confirmed. Yeah, because I didn't want to be like, oh, we're getting this, and I'd be like, oh, just kidding, no, we didn't. So yeah, but if you want all the information on that, go to our link in bio. The link is right there. Read up on it.
It's in all of our bios.
Even JBY.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Yes.
And I do want to point out that you definitely want to go to our oursleeplifepodcast.com, not only to get your merch and become a patron, it's also those newsletters, the first thing, because you type in your email, you get a newsletter, you get a free ebook. And if you were on our newsletter list, you would already know that we're going to Pop Recovery.
Yeah,
so they always get to know everything first. So they know that me and Kelly are doing a 5K. Oh my God, I got this woman to do a 5K with me.
Now hold up.
So
I'm just
excited.
walking. I'm just walking.
I
people.
know, me too.
Okay.
We're walking a good pace. I know. But we're going to be with comedians. So it's going to be the best. So,
and Jelly Roll.
And Jelly Roll. So Netflix is putting on a festival. It's called Netflix is No Joke Festival. So it's pretty cool. My guys that I love is from Two Bears, One Cave. It's Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. And literally they put on their own 5K in LA. And it's May 7th. It's a Tuesday. We're going to be 9 a.m. And you guys can join our team.
Yes.
So we can actually have an OSLP team. So come hang out with us. It's only $49. And you get a t-shirt, a medal, a beer, and you get to hang out with a bunch of comedians and like some musicians.
Yeah. And that link is also in our bio, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when you go to the website, we already covered that.
Yes, we did.
While you're on the website, you want to go up to the top right corner and click the become a patron button.
Oh, it's hard to forget sometimes, huh?
I said the correct space.
I know, but you said it very slowly.
Yeah, because I was looking at you. You want to become a patron because then you would see us bicker on camera like this because you get special episodes. You get a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Like our patrons got a video of us riding the doggy dash.
Wasn't it Slinky Dog?
Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah.
And Mel's faces, the entire thing. Like,
I'm a scaredy
hysterical. Cat. So you get to learn that stuff. Then you also get expert calls. And we are coming up with a whole slew of other things just for our patrons.
That's right.
So.
And a freeway.
A freeway.
There's always a freeway.
There's always a freeway.
So that is YouTube. It's already on your phone. Just type in our name. And we're the only ones. Our Sleep Life Podcast. Hit the bell. Hit subscribe. And then you will get actually notified for videos like these every single Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because those people that are on YouTube right now can actually see two things. One, we have a whole new background.
We do. Thank you.
And we have two amazing guests just waiting.
We very much do. So you know how we mentioned the Pop Recovery Retreat.
Yeah.
Well, we may have the co-founder or the CEO and founder of Pop Recovery in the studio, along with one of our favorite doctors ever.
Yes.
Dr. Eric Smith. So welcome on, you guys.
Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
We are good. We are good.
You guys are fun to watch.
I'm glad.
We have too much history to not bicker like we've known each other our entire
like we're
lives.
a married couple.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
100%.
I do not want to be married to you, but I am.
No, I'm a good wife. I'm a great wife.
Okay.
I put it down. I'm good.
Okay.
Anyways,
all right.
Back to the professionals.
Yes.
Ma'am.
So let's start with Laura. Laura, can you tell us a little bit of background on you and then why you started Pop Recovery?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. So I'm Laura Lexus, and I started the company because of my own hardships that I experienced when I had plastic surgery in July of 2020. I had just started my first ever business in March of 2020. It was like a real estate negotiating business, and it exploded really quickly. Like within 90 days, I made my first 7 figures, and my life changed very fast.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what can I use this to fix my life? Like, what can I buy? So I was like, okay, I'm going to get a new condo. I'm going to get a new car. I'm going to get a nanny and a maid. And I'm going to have surgery because I had dealt with weight up and down, weight loss troubles my whole life. My stepdad was pretty abusive, so he put me on my first diet when I was 5 years old.
Oh my
and so I obviously, from experiencing that, I had a bad relationship with food. Yeah, that's what happens. And so in my teen years, I experienced bulimia and just anything to try to, I was working out with my mom with little canned goods in my hands as weights at 9 years old. And so I always had a struggle with my weight. And when you are bulimic and you binge and purge, it's like, even if when you lose the weight that fast, your stomach is still very loose, like elastic. So then I had my daughter. This is much later. So around 27, I had my daughter. And then that didn't help my body. So I just was like, you know what? I bet you if I just get rid of the stomach, I'll be happy. And so when I had the surgery, I had a great surgeon, but I wasn't prepared for the mental hardships that came in recovery. I was very, very blessed to have my assistant who helped me find my nurse, and my good friend from Canada. He actually cooked all my food because when I saw the PDF instruction on how to like eat after surgery, I was like, I don't even know what this is. I can't do this. Like, I've never done this. No wine, like no dairy, no spices. I mean, champagne and wine, that was my thing, you know, at that time. So I was like, I can't have anything I like. I can't have French fries or burgers. And so I was like, I need to eat something good. So, you know, we hired someone, and my friend Dominique happened to be a nutrition coach. She helped me find like the protein, which I actually had access to because I was already using the company's makeup. It was vegan makeup.
Okay.
And so she was like, hey, did you know that they have this protein and it's actually really good for your diet, and they have this 30 days to healthy living? So anyway, we put it like makeshift all together, all these things. My assistant, Dominique, helping me, my friend. And then when I finally got some mental health help, because that's really what I needed therapy, but I didn't want to go to a therapist because I don't really like the terminology of like psychologists and stuff like that back then.
Okay.
Now I'm on it, but back then.
Question
So
before you go forward, can you tell me what kind of surgery you had? I don't think.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I had like a tummy tuck.
Okay.
With ab repair and lipo 360. So but a lot of the time was spent fixing a hernia that they found when they got in there. Okay. So they lipoed my stomach and all of that. But I remember them showing me a picture of the skin, and I had like that much fat. Like, let's say for the people that can't see, like a half inch of regular size paper, like the half of the paper.
Oh, yeah.
Cut in half. That's how much fat I had on the skin. And so like they cut that all off. And so obviously my body changed fast, and I couldn't have cheese or anything. Like, my body composition changed. So when I went through coaching with Stacy, that's where I learned that all the feelings I was feeling came from trauma from my childhood. It had nothing to do with the surgery.
Right.
But it took that to put it together. And so that put me on a journey of wondering who else having plastic surgery was going through this. Yeah. And so we started doing research and looking into it through Instagram and Facebook groups. We found like over 200 patients that were experiencing the same. So I started the company, and then we found bariatric patients who were having plastic surgery and needing more support from that bariatric phase to that plastics phase. Yeah. And then I was able to link up with Dr. Smith, where I realized that the bariatric community could really utilize more support for mental health, nutrition and coordination, concierge wellness, how to navigate through these different transformations and phases of life. So I saw that there were different entities that offered these things, but there wasn't one place that you had everything. No. And so that's what I created.
Yay. I love that, because we need that.
Yes.
Like, that is like a no-brainer. Once you said it, I was like, yeah, like, our people, like, some of them don't even do it in the States because they can't. So when they come back to the States, there's no aftercare. Mm-hmm. And then when they go into plastics, that happens all the time. No aftercare. Because a lot of us travel around to do this. So I'm just thankful that someone came up with it, because it's so much easier to be like, oh, here's a place that handles this. Make a call, get an appointment.
Well, and I really like the therapy aspect of it, because I'm currently in almost 2 years of therapy.
Yeah.
And
we're big advocates.
Yeah. I feel like what you said was like, it wasn't the surgery. It was my mental health that was affecting me, because I didn't realize that until I was out of my marriage. I didn't realize that therapy was such a big deal. And I thought my weight loss surgery, as good as it was, I thought it was like a good thing. And I thought it would fix everything.
Right. Well,
and it didn't.
Well, you one time told me that you will be happy once you hit a certain weight?
Yeah, I would be happy with myself when I hit that certain weight. And that was
until that scale said that.
Mental health, 100%. So, okay, Dr. Eric Smith, 2-time winner of the JBY Best Surgeon Award.
That's right.
I love it.
So tell us about guys? We're doing good. Tell us about your background for those that don't know you.
Yeah.
And then how did you and Laura start collabing?
Well, for those that don't know, my background is my hospital's in Georgetown, Kentucky. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Most people know where that is versus Georgetown. But I'm the medical director of Kentucky Bariatric Institute, and I'm also the medical director of bariatrics and robotics for all of LifePoint Health, which is the health system that my hospital is under. So we have hospitals all over the country. So I oversee, I don't know if oversee is the right word, but I help mentor, help develop, and help build all the various bariatric programs that we have across the country. From a training standpoint, as well as questions about adding new procedures, setting up efficiencies in their office. So, I'm fortunate that I get to work with a lot of other people that do what I do and have the same passion that I have about what I do as well. I've been in practice for, almost 18 years now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Recently, very excited, just launched a new line called Berry Balance by Dr. Eric Smith. Got a lot of cool products. Probably one of the coolest products that we have that everybody is loving a lot is we have protein water. And it just has water and protein and a little bit of artificial sweetener. There's no fat, there's no carbs in it. It's protein, 20 grams of protein in 12 ounces. So I was just recently at a charity golf event, and there were a lot of athletes there, some professional golfers, and even got it in their hands. And they're like, man, this is great. I can hydrate and get, they're obviously very focused on maintaining muscle mass and their health and wellness for their craft as professional athletes. So really excited about that as well. But what we're really talking about today is kind of how I ended up partnering with Laura. And to be honest with you, it was some time ago, she kind of had her people cold call me. And as you can imagine, I get that a lot.
Yes.
And I try my very best to give everybody my time. Sometimes I'm probably guilty of doing that too much and not saying no enough. But, I read about it and I was intrigued, and just kind of doing a little bit of research before we connected. I didn't know exactly what to expect, but I knew enough based on kind of what she described in the plastics world. And I, to be honest with you, thought, it's interesting. But I would have never thought that there would be such a role for that in the plastic surgery world. Now, fast forward, I've learned so much about how important and vital it is for people who are having plastic surgery for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
But we sat down and we had a conversation, and I thought, okay, I'm going to get this 15 minutes out of the way, and I'm going to kindly say, I've got a lot of things on my plate right now.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed my conversation. We really just kind of hit it off. And so it turned into some more conversations. And, it really evolved into her saying, what do you think about this for bariatric surgery patients? Because we're seeing all these people who had bariatric surgery, but they're finding us because of plastics. And they're all saying, man, I wish I had this. Whether they like their surgeon or they not, I wish I had this. No one says I had this already.
Right.
And I told Laura, I said, I'll be honest with you, this was built for bariatric surgery.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
There's other surgeries that could benefit from it, but this is exactly what we need and what we're missing.
Yeah.
And so those conversations just really evolved. And there's so many aspects of POP from a surgeon's standpoint, what I see. I am very, very blessed. I have an amazing program, an amazing group of people. I have probably close to 25 people that are employed within our program from, 3 full-time dietitians. We now have full-time in-house psych. We have patient navigators, insurance coordinators, bariatric nurses, nurse practitioners, PAs. We have all these things. And I'm saying that not to brag on us. I'm saying that to say, whenever I host surgeons, they're all like, I wish I had this.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I still feel like we have gaps. I still feel like there are gaps in the system, and we only have so many resources.
Right.
And I think for years, I've always looked at it and said, the problem is, even when you have these things, you look at a patient and you say, here's all these things that you have at your disposal. Let us know what you need. Yeah. We set up these scheduled visits to make sure that labs are good and to make sure that people are staying out of trouble.
Right.
But if most of these people knew they needed a therapist on a schedule, they would have already got one. So totally. Having it there. So then what happens is a problem has to arise before you say, okay, I am prescribing you.
You all might be asking yourselves, why do these girls love Just Meat so much? Well, we're going to tell you.
Yeah, because so much freaking flavor, guys.
Yes,
like,
oh my God.
Insane. And I love to cook, and this has cut down my cooking time like in half. Literally the meat part, 2 to 3 minutes.
Who doesn't want that for cooking? And I love, love, love the fact as a single person, I can cook 1 pack and eat that for the rest of the day, the rest of the week.
Yeah.
The rest of the week, people. And I love that it comes straight to your door. I don't have to go to the grocery store. I don't know about you, but I don't like going to the grocery store.
No.
So having this delivered is ultimate.
It is ultimate. And you just go to justmeats.co, pick out all your different flavors. Mm-hmm. You can really mix and match what you want, and then use OSLP 25 for you to get $25 off your order.
Go now.
Okay, guys, we are going to talk about something that we are super passionate about. They are delicious. They are easy. You know it is Factor, right?
Yeah.
So eating better is easy with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to go in just 2 minutes. You'll have over 35 different options to choose from every week, including Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto.
Also, there are more than 60 add-ons to help you stay fueled up and feeling good all day long. What are you waiting for? Get started today and get after your goals.
Yeah, they've got 2-minute meals. Fuel up fast with Factor's restaurant quality meals that are ready to heat and eat whenever you are.
And there's pancakes, smoothies, and more. Discover a wide variety of easy options for the entire day, like breakfast, midday bites, and more.
No prep. No mess meals. You know that's my favorite.
Keep going. I can clip it.
Okay. So there's no prepping, cooking, or cleanup needed.
Flexible for your schedule. Get as much or as little as you need by choosing your meals every single week. Plus, you can pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime, guys.
Factor is the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, premium options with no cooking required.
Sign up and save. We done the math. Factor is less expensive than takeout, and every meal is dietitian approved to be nutritious and delicious.
All right. So head to factormeals.com/sleeved50. That's SLEEVED 50. And use code sleeved50. That's SLEEVED 50 to get 50% off. That's code sleeved50, SLEEVED 50 at factormeals.com/sleeved50 to get 50% off. Go now and order them and experience the deliciousness for yourself.
Seriously, guys, that's a huge discount. 50% off, so go now.
Are you feeling a little sluggish? Little lack of protein? Little lack of caffeine? Well, we got the fix for that.
That's right. Dive Bar Nutrition has the best protein bars. They have caffeine, protein, and they taste delicious.
So head on over to divebarnutrition.com and use code OSLP at checkout.
I need you to see our mental health specialist.
Yeah.
And then they will set up, regular sessions.
I feel
and I'm like, we're doing this all backwards. Yeah, we're doing this all backwards. We have to give clear direction to patients. Patients come to us for us to tell them what surgery is best for them, how they should have the surgery, and how they can reach the goals that they want to reach. And we think we're doing patients a favor by giving them choices. And the reality of it is patients don't want choices. They want direction.
Yeah.
I could not agree more.
Yeah, I feel very strongly about that.
Like, I only got the 15-minute phone call, and I was told you're fine. So I never saw anybody.
Right.
But I was having breakdowns in month 3, 5, 8. Like, it was wild because any time that, like, I had an emotional event, that's what I'm going to call it, I couldn't eat, right? I couldn't do what I normally do. So, like, I literally broke down to my hallway with my husband at the time was like, are you okay? And I'm like, I have no idea. But I should have been prescribed something in the very beginning. Like, I was never talked to about it. They were just like, yeah, it looks like you're not going to, be a hermit, like, be too scared, or you're not going to, like, go on the other end. I'm like, okay, so I guess I'm normal, but what really is that? Yeah. But I would have loved to have had something that someone told me, hey, these are things you should be doing. Yeah. Because I didn't get any of that. And I do get that I'm like, I'll be 9 years out as of May 25th. But, like, that is a long time ago. So I know things have changed, but it doesn't seem like it's changed enough.
Yeah. But on the flip side, I'm almost 5 years out. Right. So 3 years later, almost 4 years out from you. And I had 6 therapy sessions.
So there's growth.
Yeah. So I had 6 of them. But then after I had hit maintenance mode, I was like, I don't understand. Like, my thought is just like, I couldn't figure out where I was at mentally. And I actually called and made an appointment. And the guy told me, we don't deal with this. You need to go find yourself a different therapist.
Yeah.
Right.
In my surgeon's office. And I was like, I felt so defeated that I never reached out to anybody else.
Well, yeah.
Because what happens is this has been a box that we in the profession have had to check because insurance companies have mandated psychological clearance or, quote, psych evals, they'd like to call it. So it truly becomes a box to check of, okay, are they clear? Now, there's reasons behind it. You want to make sure patients are safe to proceed with surgery, but that's safe to proceed with surgery. Your surgery lasts 30 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on what you have and where you have it. You've got the rest of your life to maintain results. Yeah. Why in the world are we not continuing this afterwards? And what we know is patients tend to experience very similar things at the 1 month, at the 3 month, at the 6 month, at the 9 month, at 2 years, at 5 years. Divorce hits them at 6 months after surgery. Now what do I do? Yeah. Loss of a loved one. There's so many things. Let's just say life happens.
Yeah.
And I think, so when Laura and I started sitting down, we really mapped out and a lot of it from what she already had for plastic surgery patients.
Yeah.
And then built that and customized that for bariatric surgery patients. And so, I've always said, I think the keys to my success are I surround myself by really smart people because I can't do all this by myself.
No.
And what POP really does is it allows the patients to come into surgery with POP prep and recovery and then have surgery. And so if they have a surgical practice like mine, who does have a lot of resources, great. It's all additive. But if they go to some place that maybe doesn't have those things, they don't suffer because they still have, we're not replacing the surgeon. We're not telling the surgeon or going against their instructions. We're just ensuring. And what we're talking about is not, the other thing is you have to take the initiative. You've got to go somewhere. You got to log on to a group session. And those things are great. But those things only work when patients have the motivation to take that step and get on there.
Yeah.
But this is individual, real people, one-on-one mental health coaches, professional nutritionists, and dietary coaches. And, I'll never forget when Laura said, and when you get a personal concierge, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? Is this like room service? But, she started giving me examples of like, okay, we have patients who have traveled to have plastic surgery. They help them find their Airbnb. They help them find their compression garments. They make sure that their shopping lists are intact. They make sure. And here's what happens. These patients, they develop a rapport with these coaches because these coaches are with them for at minimum a year.
Wow. Yeah.
And they tell them more than sometimes they tell their doctors but we can still communicate that for them. You know, we can let them know, hey, so-and-so's struggling more than you think. And so it is, you know, I have been for years, we've got to change something. As much as I love doing what I'm doing, no one has moved the needle. We've only treating 1% of the people that qualify for surgery. Something is screwed up here, and we've got to fix it. And we've got to figure out how do we do that. And so Laura and I spent a lot of nights talking, and I'm like, it's access. Patients don't have access. They either can't afford it. We have to fix that. We have to give them access to know that many patients do have access to bariatric surgery, and we have to open up those lines of communication to the primary care providers so they know how safe these surgeries are and how effective they are.
Yeah.
And we have to give them a process that will set them up for success long term. That it's truly a lifestyle change for them. And, you know, I think we've got it. And I think it's going to change the game for bariatric surgery patients.
I 100% believe you, because it's like you've got Laura, who's a freaking powerhouse, and then you've got you that's a powerhouse when it comes to bariatrics.
Yeah.
Well, probably all of your life. But I'm just going to pinpoint on bariatrics.
No,
That's not true. Let me just say, I knew his life story.
Love it.
But you've got,
And that's just a jab, because I never knew that he was going to give me 15 minutes on that call. I was going to give you 15 minutes on that call. Thank you very much.
the battle of the 15 minutes. I just think you've got two great minds that one understands plastics in a way and what you want to give to patients that get plastics.
Yeah.
And you've got Dr. Smith, who knows exactly the ins and outs of bariatric surgery, bariatric mindset. And you guys are meeting those two things. And I could not be more excited for this partnership.
I know.
Like,
this bridging the gap. Like, that's what we've been wanting for such a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you guys have done this, because I'm just, every time we were talking, I can just think of myself of how easier it would have been.
Oh, 100%.
And it's just frustrating because, like, I'm going to go back to the therapy part, because that's the one that I relate with. Like, I didn't go back till, 7 years? 7 years after. And you know why? Because I watched my husband die and come back. That's why I went.
Yeah.
And then all the other food problems from the back, like,
Started
shit was creeping out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if I would have went so much sooner, I could have figured out all these breakdowns I was having if I was like angry or stressed. Like, it's just wild that like we wait for a life like change to do things instead of just like preactively helping ourselves.
I mean, mine was my divorce.
I know.
And yours was your ex-husband dying and coming back. So like, it's like these big changes are what's like, oh, I need to go to therapy.
Time.
And then you go into therapy and you're like, oh, I should have gone to this at age 4. Cool. That's what I need
Well,
to do.
I think when you incorporate it into a program, you know, your patients, if they're making that decision to do that, and their doctor says this is part of it, like this isn't optional, this is part of it. We have so much information and data that says that the more your compliance is present, the longevity of your compliance leads to better results long term.
Right.
But we've got to stop putting the onus on the patient and saying you should think about. And I'll change the tone just a tad, but it really all relates. I mentioned earlier about primary cares and other physicians. We are going to change the game on making sure that the doctors who patients actually trust, which is their primary care doctors, know what we're doing and how effective it is. There's so many misconceptions out there about bariatric surgery, so many misconceptions about it being dangerous, so many misconceptions about it not working, so many misconceptions about it's not affordable. And all of those are untrue. And we have solutions for those actually within POP. I mean, POP is prep and recovery, but there's multiple facets to POP. And so what we want to do is make them understand, hey, this surgery you're afraid to refer your patient for, you realize it's safer than the gallbladder you refer to every single day or the hysterectomy you refer every single day. Did you know that? Did you know that the chances to them lose weight by what you've been telling them to do doesn't work? It just doesn't work. And what we do does work.
Yeah. I actually can feel you on that because I actually went to my primary care and I loved her. But I said, I want to do weight loss surgery. And she said, I will not send a referral over for you, but I will send you to this weight loss clinic. And I was like, okay, well, I guess if that's what I have to do. So I called them and the girl was so rude on the phone, like extremely rude, that I ended up going to my rheumatologist and saying, hey, can you send a referral over? And she said, I don't normally do this, but for you, I will. And she sent it over and the rest is history. But it was like somebody that I loved and cared, like she actually cared about my well-being, but not in the right way.
That's a part of the problem. There's there's a lack of connection there. And one of the things I absolutely love about Dr. Smith is he's extremely aware of the flaws that are within the industry and okay about talking about it. Whereas I've met some other professionals since we've linked up. I've had a lot of conversations with many bariatric surgeons. I've heard about a lot of different programs. The highest programs I've seen don't exceed about 6 or 7 sessions within the first year, and they're extremely spread out. Yeah. Whereas with POP, our minimum program has 16 over the first 13 months. And so when I wanted to bring that up, because even though it's been 9 years, even though it's been 5 years, it's gotten a little better, but most of it is in the pre-op to get them approved for surgery. And then it's kind of like sayonara. And so we wanted to create something that would help. And I remember when we were setting up this call, I was just thinking before we got on, I was like, I hope I'm not wasting my time. I'm pretty sure I'm wasting my time. Like, what does bariatrics need this for? They already have psychologists. They have dietitians. I was like, this guy, I heard he's on TV. I hope that's not true. Like, all these thoughts are going through my head. I'm expecting him to come on with like a cowboy hat or something. And then he just comes with his little hoodie. Yeah. Super cool and just super humble and it's been an amazing experience to learn from him. I've learned a lot about the bariatric surgeons, the community, learning from our ambassadors. I mean, I was always so, I've known I should be in bariatrics for a while, but I didn't feel like I had the right because I never had bariatric surgery. And so I had seen so many people come into the community and try to poach off of it and take advantage that I just didn't want to be another person doing that. Even though I knew that wasn't my intention, people don't know me. They can't see my heart. And so when I was able to talk with Dr. Smith and we really talked about this program, and then he brought up, we brought it up both at the same time. Like, what if we did this together? And then I was like, oh, I got my ticket in. But it's turned into, so much more. He's an amazing person down to the core. He really cares about the patients. He's a force to be reckoned with. I'm honored to be able to call him partner. And I know that we're going to do great things together for the community. And that's the whole point of POP, the programs we're coming up with, and the whole point of the retreat.
Yeah. Okay. So you brought it up. So now we got to talk about it.
You like that.
So where did this idea come from? Yes. How did you get to the retreat? And then I want to know everything. So just tell me everything.
All right. So I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So that's how I roll.
I'm holding okay. So I will say we met with Laura back last year.
Yes, we did.
And it was right around the time of JBY, and we were like freaking chickens with our heads cut off.
Correct.
And we were like, we don't have time right now, but we knew the moment we were on there.
But we can't. We have no time.
Yeah, there was no time.
Yeah.
So when you reached back out, we were just thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. Yeah, because we were like, we have time now. I mean, not much, but we will.
So much more, though.
So much more than last year.
Yeah, we're gonna be home all month.
Yeah, that's
next month until we go.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
We're going to LA. So,
but yes, the retreat. Tell us how it got started.
Yes.
So last year, when I first was presenting the company to the world, I just like was, how do I let people know that this exists? And so my mentor at the time was like, everything's always good to launch with an event, like just revolve it around an event. So it was the Beautiful of Mind, a social event and workshop. It was all on Zoom because I had just had my son. He was born in December of 2022. You know, I launched the company in September of 2022. Then I had my son, and he's a little baby in my arms. I'm calling surgeons, you know, trying to get them signed up, plastic surgeons, to work with us. And they hear in the background, you know. And I remember one time I literally with Dr. Rednam, who's now one of our partners. I'm like, I'm really sorry, I have to breastfeed with you. She's like, it's okay, I totally get it. You know, but it was like that time, it was a baby. I was having a baby and having a baby company. So we did it on Zoom. We did it over 2 days, and it was 4 hours each day, but it was all about plastic surgery. And around that time, Teresa Marie, Transformative Teresa Marie, had just had her 47 pounds of skin removed and was talking about how, despite how amazing her surgeon was, our program would have been amazing. And so we had her come on and speak about mental and plastic surgery. I had amazing surgeons come on and speak for about 30 to 40 minutes each. And they talked about choosing the right surgeon, what red flags to look for. And so basically, you know, instead of investing in a bunch of billboard ads and all of these other things, I invested in these speakers to speak at the event. And that was that last year. So then when it was time for this year to come around, I really didn't want it to be another online event. I realized how important it was for people to meet together again. And so what we did was when I first came up with it, it was like right in the beginning stages of speaking with Dr. Smith. And so I was like, okay, well, if we're going to do this bariatric thing, then the event should be bariatrics and plastics. And then I knew in the bariatric world, they had meetups and they had like a retreat, like a 3-day kind of retreat. And I was like, well, if that works for them, then if I mix it with my social event workshop where I educate, and then we have amazing food, like not just like, you know, but like really healthy, tasty food. You've been to the Wave, but one thing you might not know is like it's a 5-diamond hotel, not just a 5-star. And so in order to get 5-diamond, that was my old career. I used to work in the vacation industry. So in order to be a 5-diamond, your kitchen in your food has to be like Michelin star quality. It has to be top chef. And so that's one of the reasons I chose theirs, because of the food. I wanted it to be healthy, bite-sized, and enjoyable. And so I decided to turn it into a retreat, not really knowing who would attend, who would be in for it. But I guess a lot of people are in for it because we're getting close to having no more tickets. So
yeah, that's what we like to hear.
Have an online experience. So definitely want to talk about that a little bit. But yes, that's how I came up with it, and I plan on doing it every single year, and it getting bigger every single year. It is a dry event, so we'll have mocktails, really tasty mocktails. Devotion's gonna be helping us with that.
Devotion.
Yeah, great. And she has these like little HydroFlex flavors, so we're making some mocktails with that, and I'll have to taste the protein waters first before I figure out what we can do with that. You know, if they don't taste, no, I'm just kidding.
You know they taste great.
I know they taste good.
Right? I'm like, there's no way Dr. Smith would put out a protein water that did not taste good. Like,
yes, I don't believe that either.
Yeah. Well,
time will tell.
Yeah, right. I really do like the fact that you are breaking it up into days. So like the first day's all bariatrics, the second day's all plastics, if I'm
correct.
Okay. And then the one thing that I love, I mean, there's so many things that I love, but when we were talking about the event, and you said they're going to have buddies. So like
Yes.
if somebody's coming
Yes.
alone, then you're
Yes.
going to pair them with somebody that's like in their same, like
Yes.
all of it. And I was just like, that's so great because so many people come alone and they sit by themselves and they don't make any friends because it's hard when you see all these other people like that all know each other and you're just like, okay, I'm just going to sit over here by myself. So
Yeah,
I really love that.
Actually, it was Tanya and Teresa who helped us come up with the flow.
That's
so
perfect.
Because they had been to the other retreat and just said, hey, these are some things that we loved. These are some things we could have done without. And so all the things they said they could have done without, we got rid of it. So like the day one is your registration. You're going to get your swag bag. You're going to be able to meet your buddy. And then we just want everyone to fly in, be able to rest, have a good rest that night. That Friday is Bariatrics Day. We're going to start with an amazing breakfast that's going to be prepared. We're going to have amazing coffee bars and flavored waters and all types of things happening. And then Dr. Smith and Barry Balance actually sponsored that whole entire day. And so, yes, so he will be speaking that day. We're actually going to have Margaret Hayes, the bariatric dietitian from Australia, speaking as well. We have some members of our team, but it's all about mind, body, soul. Day one for bariatrics, and then we'll break. In the middle, we'll break for lunch. And then we'll break again. We have dinner with our buddy dinner, and Tanya and Teresa will have icebreakers. We're going to have games there as well, board games and all types of fun stuff. And then next day, day two starts with a beautiful brunch. And we have another mind, body, soul plastics day sponsored by Pure Plastic Surgery. Dr. Alexander Earl. He is the World Association of Gluteal Surgeons president. Wow. He's going to be speaking about plastic surgery, why choosing the right surgeon is very important, why recovery systems work. We're going to have someone who's creating a law in Florida for safer post-op care for plastics. She's going to be speaking on safety and post-ops and all of that. And so we're also going to end that day with vision board. So we're going to spend 3 hours making vision boards and speaking into existence, visualizing what we want for the future. Mind, body, and soul. And then we break, and that night we're going to have the amazing prom gala, which is called the Prala. And a lot of people in the community, whether plastics or bariatrics, especially bariatrics to plastics, they never got to go to their prom. I didn't go to my prom because I was a hellion of a teenager and I dropped out. And so I never went to my prom. But don't worry, you can still make it. Just so you know, I made it. You can too. But,
yes.
I am so excited for that because I'm already seeing people going for their dresses, and we're gonna have that's actually sponsored. The whole thing is sponsored by Devotion. That whole project. It's gonna be absolutely beautiful. We're gonna have photos and great food and mocktails and music. Atomic Blonde is her name. Will be our DJ for that. So we're seriously excited because it's just meant to inspire, encourage, and motivate to believe that you can achieve the different phases of transformation that you want.
I do have a kind of a funny point to make.
I do too. Are we going to?
We might do the same thing. Okay. So our first prom.
Yes,
we were each other's dates.
We were.
Now for our second prom, we're still each other's dates. Can you please connect me with another bariatric friend?
We're going to prom again.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. So that's happening.
Third time's a charm.
We're not doing that pose though. I'm not doing that pose. And I will actually.
You don't want to like hold me a little bit?
No. They thought we were together. Like we were a couple. And I'm like, we're not a couple. We just don't have guys.
No. And guess what? We don't right now. So perfect.
That is true. We are both single. That is for like the
first
time since prom. The last prom.
So good. So I was going to pinpoint that, but also why I was listening and I heard Michelin star.
Diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a 5-diamond hotel. So in order to be a 5-diamond hotel, your restaurants have to be of a very high caliber. Borderline, like if they haven't already received a Michelin star, they're like right on the cusp. That's how it works in like the global index of how you kind of rate those things.
Right.
And so the restaurants and the chefs there are extremely high quality. So the ingredients are going to be high quality. The techniques are going to be high quality. The food's going to be high quality.
Well, I know when we were just there,
well,
the food was really good.
It was amazing.
It was so good.
My question is that the retreat's going to be there, so we'll get to try this kind of food.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's included in all the
Make sure I understand.
All the meals, So first day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Second day, brunch and dinner are included in the tickets.
Wow.
So we're breaking bread together a lot. I mean, one thing I saw where there were some things that missing, like we're asking these bariatric patients to come together for hours and days. We need to provide, a sufficient amount of food throughout that time and snacks and stuff like that. So
you mean nuts in a bowl aren't considered a meal?
No.
Stop it.
I'm just saying.
Are not considered food, especially not up to this girl's standards. Hello.
Yeah. We are both bougie girls.
Yeah.
So I trust you. The only request I will kind of make is, hey, can you have seltzer there?
So, seltzer? Yes.
Yeah.
We're
Just
gonna,
plain.
I love soda water, agua mineral. I love it. So there'll be like some with lemon, lime options. But my event planner, she's been doing events for like 8 years. She's also my sister. So she's the one who's like decking this whole thing out. I'm super proud of her. I'm so blessed to have her because she knows me well, but she's also takes her job really seriously. She loves what she does. So
that's what we need. Yeah,
that is.
I can assure you one thing I learned very early on is Laura doesn't do anything halfway.
I love it. That's how we are.
Yeah.
All in,
and
baby.
You know what? That's a good thing. If you're going to do something, you have to do it right. And I think, it really, if you think about it, it really echoes what we believe as to why our program is vital for people's success and why they should look at using it. Is because the number one thing that you should invest in is yourself.
Yeah.
And, to build a company the right way, to build a program the right way, you can't cut corners. You can't say, well, let's just sprinkle enough little frill in that it seems like it's a program and then it can be a successful business. That's not how it works. It has to be quality first. And yes, you have to make the business successful, but quality has to come first, and it has to be accessible for people. It has to be affordable for people. And I think that's why, that's how she looks at how she's going to do this event. I promise you, it will be unlike any event that you've ever been to that's over a period of days.
Yeah.
You guys do it amazing. No, let me finish. Your all's event is very different. It's a gathering and it's a celebration. And this is too. And your all's event is amazing. Like your event was the first one that I ever went to for that. It was the first chance for me to meet people that were patients that I knew because they followed me on social media, but I'd never met them in person. And I felt like I felt like it was more rewarding to me than it was a lot of the people there as patients, because I got to see the end result of what I do every day. None of those people were my patients, but I feel like everybody who's had bariatric surgery is kind of like my patient. At least I feel like I'm their advocate. So it's amazing to see that. And we want people to come to this event and feel like they deserve this stuff, We want them to feel like that they're going to, what it's like to invest in eating healthy, good whole foods and quality foods, and what it's like to invest in yourself, in your mental health, in your preparation, and we're doing a live tonight on the fear of failure that patients go through.
Yeah.
And there's such a fear of people that have bariatric surgery that, am I going to be successful? Yeah. So why not do everything you can to invest in the resources to ensure you have the best chance to be successful?
Yeah. And like me and Kelly advocate all the time, like it's okay to ask for help. And like even like the athletes and people that are like doing great things, they have like a team around them. And those are also their doctors and their therapists and their nutritionists and their trainer. Like, you need the help. Like, you're not supposed to know everything. Like, you're just not supposed to know all the things, right? And they make people for each thing that we need. So let's ask for the help that we need and then start building our coach, like our staff, basically.
Well, now we already have a pre-made one.
I know. Laura did it. Like, her and Dr. Eric, man, like, that's what we need. Like, that's exactly what we needed in this. And it's very important because I felt alone. I felt ashamed, embarrassed. Like, I didn't tell anybody until we started the podcast. I was 4 years out. Like, I even switched jobs. I went from the Department of Revenue to Progressive, and I didn't tell anybody that I had surgery.
Yeah.
Because that's how I felt. Because I was like, oh my God, they're going to make fun of me, you know?
Well, and I even told her at the beginning, I was like, okay, so you're going to have to like actually tell people you had surgery now, right? Yeah. Like if we're doing a podcast. And she's like, yeah, I know. And now I've created a freaking monster because this one didn't even know how to smile for photos. And now she's like, let's take a photo.
Well,
I turn around and she's halfway down the block going like this.
I mean, I'm doing research all day. That's what I do.
But that's a great example of like you thinking that there's something wrong with you because you didn't feel comfortable to talk about it. And imagine if everybody goes through surgery knowing, hey, by the way, at this point, you're probably going to start having these feelings. Oh, I'm normal. Like I'm not alone. This is expected. And oh, by the way, and here's how you deal with it. Here's what we can do to help you with that. Yeah. I want to say real quick that this has been like one of the most exciting things that I have tackled in a long, long time. And I feel like I've got to do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of ideas, and I've done this long enough. I used to always feel like I was one of the younger surgeons, and I realized that's not the case anymore. I feel young, but I'm not one of the younger surgeons.
Same, Dr. Herrick.
But I've had all these ideas from all these experiences, and I truly believe, and I don't say this in an arrogant way, but I truly believe I know some solutions to some of the big problems that we have so we can change more people's lives. But I also don't have the time nor the smarts that Laura has to build this, to gather the people the right way, to organize it. You're going to have to enlarge the screen. Her head's not going to fit, but she deserves this. And I'm dead serious. She does. And so this has been so exciting for me to be able to partner with somebody who I can focus on what I know really, really well. And she can focus on what she knows really, really well. And there's no egos. It's we get together and like, let's build this and let's do this and let's change the game for people who battle obesity. Yeah. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, that's exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I can feel it from you guys.
Yeah. I cannot wait to be there. Yeah. I'm literally counting down the days.
We are.
Because I just want to be there and like hug everybody. And I really feel like these events are so needed. They're so needed. And I love that you're working in like time to meet each other and talk with each other and
play games
and building a relationship together.
It's great.
And it's not just straight learning. Like we like those team building, the icebreakers, the manifesting our future, all of that, like because that builds a relationship with people that you may not have met had you not had this surgery.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
And I feel like being in, like going to these events is a key to also the mindset.
Yeah.
It's a big piece because if you're not going to events in person, I don't feel like you really feel like you are a part of everything. Plus, you don't feel like you can go to people. And like, if you don't have that bariatric friend to be like, hey, is this weird?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to happen?
Yeah. And we've met so many people that have met because of events.
Yeah.
and they're like very besties now because of these type of events.
We get those messages and it's beautiful. I'm like, oh, you guys met at the Just Be You award show.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, we've had that happen.
Or our first event, we met our best friend Katie.
Yes, at our first live event. Yeah.
Oh, like we're best friends with her now, but we met her for the first time at the Sippery, our very first live.
Yep, our
so
very first live show.
Things change really fast when you get to know people for who they are.
Yeah.
And you get to like really understand like, oh, there's like-minded people here and we all do want to help.
Yeah.
And I'm really thankful that we get to participate in the event. Like normally me and Kelly working events. So like we get to see it from the background. We don't actually get to participate. So now we do.
Yes.
And
so thank you for that.
Thank you for that. And I'm excited to like literally start from like morning till night, like do all the things and just like experience it with you guys.
Yeah.
That's going to be the blast.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're excited that you guys are going to be there and be able to take some time to just relax and enjoy your community.
Oh, we appreciate it because we love this community like a
we
lot.
Do.
We'll go to bat. I don't care. Come
I
at
get
me.
angry.
Come at me. But I'll
know.
go to bat. Don't mess with us.
Yeah,
we have no fear.
Well, we've been picked on all of our lives.
Yeah.
We know, like, out of all people, my goodness, we know what it feels like to be like put down or made fun of or like just being in the corner. Like we shouldn't be doing that to each other because we already know what that feels like and it sucks.
Yeah, it really
so
does.
why would we like repeat that going forward? It's like, we're not doing that. So if I see someone being picked on, I'm like, hey, no more.
Yep, we're done. We're done.
We're done.
Yeah. Or please just stop talking.
I actually did that this weekend. I was all, please stop talking. And I'm like, really? I go, yeah, do you like sports? How about cars? What do you like? Because we're not going to agree on this subject.
Yeah, we're going to agree to disagree and you're going to stop talking.
I learned he likes the Vikings.
Yes, it just continued past that.
Yes,
and then I had to kick him out. So
it's fine.
I was good. It was fine. It's fine. It was an interesting weekend.
That's why we need a healing weekend.
Yes, we need a healing weekend to meet the community, and what better to bring us like, I think it's going to be the event of the year, honestly.
Yeah.
And so I'm super excited that it's by the two of you plus all of your helpers in the background.
Yeah.
Because
we know
you
what
guys
it
are
takes.
going to bring it.
We 100% know what it takes to put on an event.
Yes.
And how many hats
I am not going to take any of the credit of that. This lady right there, I'm pointing the right direction.
I'm not her. Yeah.
But
I'm working, but in a different way.
But being
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yes, but being a sponsor is a huge part of it also.
It is.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. Yeah.
Well, it means a lot to all of us because we're like, okay, they believe in us. Like they actually care. Like they're actually in it with us, like in the trenches, and like we respect, like because we were made fun of, we respect that a lot.
Yeah.
So when sponsors come out, like it's very important.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys want to add anything else before we let you go?
Yeah.
No, I'll say from my side, just, I hope that as many people as can will join. I know our tickets are getting pretty limited for in person. There will be a virtual way to join the event. You're going to learn a lot more about POP. Please follow us on social media and follow these lives. We have a live we're getting ready to be doing here shortly. But follow these lives over this month. We're kind of letting people know really what POP is. It's prep and recovery, but it's so much more. It's a way to make surgery affordable. It's a way to make surgery accessible. It's a way to make sure surgery is done the right way by the right people, and that you have those resources no matter where you go to have surgery. And then for those that join us for the event, they're really going to learn in detail how this program works, where you get started. That it can be a simple phone call, but someone will navigate you from the first conversation of, I think I could benefit from surgery, or maybe just guidance from a obesity specialist, to taking you all the way through. So hope to see as many people as we can.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. And you're not just going to learn about POP, you're going to learn about yourself, because investing in yourself starts with learning about who you are. And even if you learn that some of the things, man, I don't know this about myself and I don't know that about myself, at least it'll bring awareness so that you can create an atmosphere and be given the tools to be able to build and grow into the person that you'd like to become. Because when you do that, you're able to do things. Like, just like you ladies are an example of that. Because of the choices you made to invest in yourself, now you're doing something about it and being a beacon of hope and light in the community. And what we want is for people to be inspired to do that for themselves and then go back to their own communities and do things and spread and spread and spread. And so if you can't come in person, please join us online. We are going to have an amazing online experience. Brandon is coming from Los Angeles. He's done online experiences for Zendaya, Michelle Obama, Instagram. It's going to be a really cool online experience. You're going to feel like it everywhere. So make sure you grab your tickets, and we're just so excited for everything that's coming. And ladies, thank you so much for allowing us to share your platform and share our hearts and about the mission and this event.
Oh, of course. We wouldn't be anywhere else but at your event.
Seriously.
Like I said, it's going to be the event of the year.
And before, remember when we talked on the phone, we told you we were trying to figure out how to go.
Yeah, we were. I was like,
we're like,
no,
maybe we can't. Maybe we have like enough miles. We're like, we wanted to go.
Finagling it, trying to get it to work.
We saw what you were putting into it, and we knew that it was going to be special. So, I just thank you, and I can't wait to be there.
Yes.
You guys, everything will be linked below in the description. It's all going to be in our link tree. I'm sure we'll get a link for the virtual when that's available, and we can put that in the link tree as well.
Yes.
So definitely go over to Pop Recovery Systems on Instagram and on TikTok. And then for Dr. Eric as well.
Yeah, and those handles will be down below too. So what a great episode.
I know,
I'm so excited. We love you guys, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.